Mythbusters.
Let's bust some myths.
We are going to bust some myths. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Woo!
That's happening. That's happening. All right.
Centered. All right, so I guess our first myth we're gonna.
What is that?
What is that? Go back to that for a second. Go back to that. Is it coming? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Sorry, guys. This is the first time I've seen this. Okay. Stay professional. Okay. All right, we're still live. Okay, let's do this.
What was that?
Let's bust some myths.
Oh, he's playing
All right.
it again. One time.
So who's Adam and who's
No, I'll just tell you. All right.
who's the other guy? Adam and Jamie. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Adam and
look at it.
Jamie. Yeah. So I'll be Adam because I'm the more technical like expert guy.
That was good.
Yeah, she can be Jamie with a big mustache.
The non-expert. Okay, so
All
Mythbusters.
Okay, we're gonna bust some myths. Let's do
Let's
it.
bust it. Never mind that
What
one.
actions does the bunker?
Take in the event of a fire. That's you.
That's me.
That's you.
So this is not the official response. So let's just say that in the event of a fire, we run like hell.
Sounds
Well,
good.
okay, good news is that the bunker actually was designed in a way that, so the way the bunker is designed is actually like a submarine. So if there is a fire in a certain section of the bunker, it's 64,000 square feet, so it's massive, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually got multiple zones, and it's been designed in such a way that if there is a fire in one section, then it'll actually shut off that entire section from air, so that the fire itself would be contained to that section. That's one of the features of this place, which is really cool. And of course, that's what you want to have in the event that you do have an underground bunker. You don't want it all in a single space where if a fire breaks out, you're dead.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. So this place is designed in such a way it has multiple zones. In the event of a fire, of course, we are connected to the fire department, so they would know that there's a fire.
Which
and
I actually know because when I first got hired, they're like, don't press any buttons on the control panel. But then they're like, oh, there's a couple you can press to show your tour people. So I pressed one, didn't it happen to be the wrong one, and didn't the fire department call? And they're like, who pressed that button? And I'm like, it's like my second day here.
Oh boy. Okay.
Good. All right, so next Mythbuster. Was the bunker at one point the Area 51 of Nova Scotia? This is you again.
Was this the Area 51 Nova Scotia? So let's take a step back and what is an Area 51? Like what how would you define Area 51? Like did we keep
Are you asking me?
Did we keep aliens here? Did we keep fallen spacecraft in this place?
Who knows? Why don't you bust that myth?
So, truth is, this place was an emergency response headquarters for the region, which means that it was meant for the military and for the government officials to be able to have a nice, safe place to go in the event of nuclear fallout, which is what they were expecting from the Cold War and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. So the truth is that this place was actually designed for people, not for aliens, unfortunately. During the truth is though is that it never got occupied for that purpose.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of space to store things here. So yeah, we're the only bunker in this area for the entire Atlantic region, as a matter of fact, that was meant for keeping people safe and sound underground. So whether the government did that or not, I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did that bust the myth?
Did that bust a myth? Well, whether you believe it or not,
Yeah.
I can't help you.
All right. Is the bunker full of asbestos? This is you again.
Me again. Is the bunker full of asbestos? Okay, so that's a really complicated question. Truth is, when the bunker was built, they loved asbestos. They built everything with asbestos back in the 1960s because the great thing about asbestos is that it is impossible to burn. Like it is totally flame retardant. So it's really a great material that was used back then, and a lot of things were built in the 1950s and 60s using asbestos. Now, What happened, though, was that before this place got decommissioned back in the 1990s, there was a huge initiative by the military to remove asbestos, dangerous asbestos, from all the facilities across the military, because the military still had lots of not just bunkers, but different buildings that had asbestos in it going all the way back to the 50s.
Yep.
So they did this huge initiative in the 90s to remove dangerous asbestos from the military facilities, including this bunker. So before it got decommissioned, all the dangerous asbestos was removed, right? So they remediated it,
Yeah.
right? Now, so the bunker is not full of asbestos, but what we did find is that there's another type, like there's other types of materials that use asbestos, but it's not the dangerous kind that everybody thinks about, like the fuzzy stuff that we see here, right? So that was removed, okay? But the stuff that's like baked into like floor tiles and things like that, we had to deal with that, right? So, and there was also fireboards all along the walls and things like that. All this kind of stuff that it could have stayed there forever if you wanted to, and it wouldn't have been dangerous.
Unless it was like punctured or.
Unless you really like, it's not even if it's punctured, like if you use power tools on it.
Okay.
You know, and things like that. And then you'd have to like literally like get that airborne, and it's like, you know, that this place has a huge air system, right? So like the air that moves in here is like a giant wind tunnel, so it would just be out of here, you know? So we remediated most of the secondary asbestos out of the building. There's practically none left now. I think we have one small section left that we just haven't gotten to, but all the places that the public comes to, all the places that are used actively, we've taken out even the other stuff, you know, because my attitude was, let's get that done while we're doing all the other renovations to update things. Because then if we have to do it again, it's just going to interrupt with things. So we just got it all done. So yeah, it's not filled with asbestos. That's the
bottom
too
line.
long to listen version.
So can the bunker protect you from a nuclear war today? Again, you.
Why can't you answer that?
I have questions coming up. Don't worry.
Well, okay, can you protect from a nuclear war today? The answer is yes, it can. Yes. We've actually taken extra measures to ensure that we actually had the capabilities of the facility to protect in the event of chemical, biological, and nuclear. So we, rather than dismantling some of the systems to like the way that have happened to other bunkers, we've actually fixed them and have them operating. So we have all our systems are still using pneumatic sensory systems within it to control it, something you need. We've got the ability to be able to filter our air. We've got the air systems. We've got backup generators. We've got all that stuff to be able to survive a big nuclear war.
But we couldn't survive a direct hit.
So, isn't that one of the other questions?
I think that was the question.
Yeah, yeah. So, look, you jumped the question.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is mine.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So,
I'll do this.
You do it.
So, could the bunker withstand a direct hit nuclear strike? No, it could not. So,
why? Why not?
Well, the bunker was built in Debert and not Halifax. They figured, well, Canada wasn't really part of the Cold War anyways.
That's what they want you to think. Yeah.
So they figured if Nova Scotia was to get hit, they would hit Halifax. So they wanted to build the bunker close enough but far enough away that you could still be protected but get here quick enough to be able to survive.
And?
It could withstand a hit from about 60 miles away.
A hit from 60 miles?
Yeah, that's what we researched.
No, even closer actually.
Well, 60 kilometers. Was it?
If the airport...
Bailey.
Yeah.
What was it? We looked it up.
If the airport got hit, we'd be okay.
Oh, 60 miles to 100. So, like, the direct effect of a blast can cause severe burns up to 60 miles away. So we can only assume that maybe 60 miles or further we could withstand a hit, but anything closer than that, probably not.
That's not true. That's not true.
Mythbuster wasn't
That's not
busted.
No.
For the bunker in tarp, they could withstand a hit from 1.8 kilometers, and I'm not sure if that applies to ours or not.
Yeah, it
So
does.
the Carp bunker in Ontario could withstand a hit from 1.8 kilometers.
1.8 kilometers. So what I've always, like, basically, if you were to bomb the airport,
Right.
which is just down there, right? If you bomb the airport,
About 60 kilometers.
Right.
The airport.
we would feel a rumble, but we would survive. But then it also depends on the megaton. Like that there, I think that would be trouble.
Right. And honestly, nowadays, they could probably pinpoint a direct hit anywhere from like a space this big now.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So what happened was back in the day, okay, when they used to do nukes,
Yeah.
what they would do is they would fly over and they would just kind of like look out and then just kind of whoop, like drop it out of the plane.
They didn't
and
know
away it
where
goes.
exactly it was going
And
to
they
hit.
would hope, they would like do their best to try to hit the target, but it was really poor,
Mm-hmm.
right? Same thing with missile guidance systems and things like that. They weren't really, yeah. So
But now they can.
now, and that's what's funny though, is that in the 1950s, that was the situation. But in the 1960s, by the time this place got built, they had created ICBMs
Mm-hmm.
that could make a direct hit. And that was by the time this place was commissioned, making this place completely obsolete. By the time the government built it, that's what we get for our tax dollars.
That's
is
crazy.
a government that creates bunkers across
So
the country that can't even help.
after 5 years of taking time to build this,
Yeah.
it wasn't even up to date when it was done.
Yeah. And it actually, like, it wouldn't have helped anybody because guess what? If they knew exactly where to hit,
Yeah.
they'd all be dead.
Right.
Right? So
Good.
it's just like useless. So that's, this taxpayer dollars, how it works. So it's what happens.
Yeah.
So-
All right. So next myth, Busta, is the bunker haunted? Well, I don't know if we'll be busting this myth, but so we had some paranormal activity people come in, and I was here till about 3:30 in the morning. We did hear some weird noises, and I had every single light shut off in here. It was super creepy, and it is always super creepy when you're by yourself. And the maintenance people that were working here said that they always heard doors close. They always heard footsteps or noises, and I've been in here alone, but I don't know if it's in my head or if it's, I don't know. Do you have any input on this? You've been here longer than me.
So the Colchester County Paranormal Society
Yeah.
is the name of the group.
Yep.
And there were two of them. There were 2 times they came here to do a ghost
One was
hunt.
the Eastlink Ghost Hunters, though.
No, CCP.
Oh, they
CCPS
came twice. And then we had another
Yeah.
one come.
So we
Okay.
came one time. The first time they came, there was all kinds of weird things that they found. The second time they came, they brought a group of people to experience a ghost hunt in the bunker, right? So these were amateurs, and they're walking around, and they're just like freaked out everywhere. I remember specifically Justin, one of our techs here that takes care of this place.
Yeah.
He actually made one of them mad. Yeah.
Right. I do remember hearing that.
He was like, he walked into this room where we play laser tag, as a matter of fact. It was there that it happened. He walks into there. We didn't have laser tag at the time. He walks into that room, and he's standing there, and someone says, "There's a presence here." And so Justin decides to ask him, "Are you here?" And the guy says, "Yeah, there's somebody here." And he says, "Do you have authorization to be here?" And the guy goes, he's really mad now. He's like, "I think you made him upset." He's like, so
Creepy.
Justin is just like, so by asking this entity if he was authorized to be there, it just like, he pissed him off.
Yeah.
Right? So leave it to Justin to do that, so. Justin. So anyways, the rest of the time was really interesting. People had, creepy things, and, they felt like their neck was tingling and things like that. And I didn't see anything. They had all kinds of like lights flash everywhere. And then that one time we did have Eastlink.
Yeah, there's actually a show.
There's a show.
Yeah.
We did Eastlink. We had Eastlink come here.
Yeah.
What was the name of the show again?
I think Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Hunters?
I think.
That's original. So we had the Ghost Hunters here, and they did a thing, and they said they saw something creepy
Yeah.
in a room, but I really think it was just a shadow.
Yeah, I was here for that. Justin was here
that's
one
where,
night.
that's where we had the painting, right? And they're like, "I saw a figure." It's like, yeah, there's a
Yes.
painting of a figure in that room.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Still creepy, especially when you're
Yeah.
by yourself. What does that go? It is.
It is.
Why does it say it is?
What?
On the screen, it pops up. Okay.
So-
Was there a morgue inside the bunker?
So
Yes.
dead bodies in here?
Not dead bodies, but a morgue.
A morgue, yes, there is a morgue. As a matter of fact, because what are you going to do in a fallout situation
If somebody dies.
where if somebody dies, you can't open the door and just out you go,
Nope.
because you'll kill yourself doing it, right? So what do? You build the place with a morgue. And as a matter of fact, fun fact, it's the same place you would store the meat. So you would simply put him in the locker next to all your frozen goods for meat that you would have here. And so we have a locker that doubles up as literally a meat locker of dead bodies. So yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Do we still have an employee that worked in the bunker while it was still operational? Negative. We have had some guests come in for tours. We've had people contact us that used to work here, and they give us their input or their expertise. Even some people that were here before them will say that there were 7 floors. I swear there was an elevator, but we'll get to that again in a second. So no, there's nobody that worked here now that used to work here when it was operational. Busted.
Busted.
Would the Prime Minister stay in the bunker? No. The Prime Minister would not stay in the bunker, but the Premier would. So the Prime Minister would have stayed at the Carp bunker in Ontario, but the Premier would come here. He had his own little section of the bunker. And yeah, it was the nicest section of the bunker at the time.
Private toilets.
Private toilets.
Private
it's like a little
toilet and
maze
shower.
in there, really, like in
Yeah.
the Premier's quarters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Premier's quarters is designed in such a way that his secretaries would have lots of space,
Yeah,
and he'd be right next to Lieutenant Commander.
yeah.
So there's a Premier and Lieutenant Commander all in the same zone, and they share a private washroom. It's the only place that has a private washroom.
Yep.
Right? So because their stuff's special.
Yeah, I think there was like 2 washrooms in there though too.
2 washrooms.
There's
no?
2 toilets. There's
only
2.
1 stall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's a shower room.
There's a shower.
Yeah.
Private
Okay.
shower. But there is 2 sinks
Yes.
for shaving and stuff.
Okay.
That's what they have.
Yeah.
So they each get their own private sinks. Taxpayer dollars. Yeah. There you go.
All right. So the next one is: does the bunker have 7 floors?
Does it have 7 floors? Well, does it have 7 floors? So we have had a number of people who used to work here in the early days of the bunker come here and explain to us about the 7 floors below. So
Several.
it's something we don't really like to talk about too much, honestly. Only because, what the heck is that? You're messing up our stream. Yeah. So the truth is that the facility, what we have access to is 2.5 floors. 2.5, technically. So 7 floors, we really don't have access to the 7 floors. So that's myth busted.
Whether there was 7 floors or not, we do not have access to it.
We simply can't confirm or deny the existence of these 7 floors at this time. At this time. Yeah, so we're gonna have to say 2.5. So I guess it's hard to say. I mean, it could change in the future. So is it a myth busted or
I've gone
confirmed?
searching for like new like wall tiles and stuff where they could have like, I don't know.
We have had, the people we've had come in here,
Yeah.
like they could tell us exactly where the elevators were.
Yeah.
Exactly where they accessed the other floors. Like exactly.
I believe there's tunnels too.
It,
Wait, I think that's our one. I just keep spoiling it.
let's move along.
Next question.
Okay, let's move along.
So do you guys know if there's a tunnel to George's Island?
Right.
Is there a tunnel to George's Island?
George's Island Tunnel.
The George's Island Tunnel. So,
I heard there was a tunnel from here to like the airport because the airport's just right over there. And I heard that the Premier would fly in, he'd get off his plane, get into the ground, go under the tunnel. Obviously not a crawling tunnel, like a walking tunnel, and he would get to the bunker that way. That way there was no walking on land once he landed in the airfield.
Right.
But again, I've looked for like bricks, like fresh new bricks and stuff, and I haven't found any.
So, once again,
But it can't not be true. That's my thing. Like, it was the military. It was top secret. They wanted to keep some stuff top secret.
what if the tunnels are in the 7th floor?
Maybe that's why we can't find it.
Maybe that's why we can't find it. What if they're in the floors that we can't access yet?
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
So, whether or not we have floors that like whether we have access to tunnels or not, again, we can't really confirm or deny the existence of these tunnels. At present, we are not able to find any tunnels. So,
Yeah.
I think
Or
that
floors.
yeah. So, the thing is that when it comes to bunkers, the first thing people think about is like these, like they think about what they see in the movies, and there's always like every single war movie there, like where there's bunkers, there's always like this like maze of tunnels that people go through before they get there, right?
Yes.
So immediately when people think of a bunker, they're like, oh, there must be an underground tunnel to get there, right? Truth is that when this was operational, the plan the military had, or the government had, was they would know when they're about to get nuked. So
They'd have
everybody
time
would
to
just
come.
hightail out of here and hightail out of Halifax, drive out here, and
Yeah.
while Halifax got nuked, they'd be getting into their nice safe bunker here,
Okay.
right? So truth be told, they didn't need underground, tunnels to do that.
Right.
But there is some pretty weird things around Debert when you go hunting. You find all these like weird.
Yeah, I've actually heard somebody like found like a manhole kind of thing in a field, like somewhere's out back here, and it was
Yeah.
a tunnel supposedly.
Yeah,
So, I
Yeah.
mean, that kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. But
true.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that's the last of our Mythbusters, I think. Is it?
Is it?
Yep. So
All right.
I guess we'll go on to say, does anybody have any questions?